Здравствуйте, дорогие телезрители! В эфире передача «Место встречи». Была старая пословица или даже песня «По утрам, надев трусы, не забудьте про часы». То есть часы и трусы абсолютно на одинаковом уровне по важности. Сегодня наш гость Hotz расскажет нам о часах Edox и, в принципе, о том, что из себя представляют хорошие часы, как эти часы выбирать и, конечно, почему эти часы того стоят. Good evening, Christian.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, right off the bat, Edox is really, really fine watches. You guys are way up there with great watches. What would be the difference between, let's say, Edox and a Casio? Or a Rolex and a Casio, for that matter. I mean, watch is a watch, but one starts at $5,000 and goes up, and that one you can get for $11, $12. Why would people pay so much more money to get a different watch?
First of all, it's the history. Our company was founded 126 years ago by a master watchmaker. And the second point is based on the fact that our watches are still nowadays hand-assembled in Switzerland. A Casio watch is a very modern product. It's of course a good product, but it's not handmade. And the company has not such a long and proud history as we have.
Right, so to this day, each and every watch that your company sells is made by and mastered. There's nothing factory assembled or mass production, is that correct?
Everything is 100% hand assembled.
Wow, so
by law. By law. If you don't hand assemble a watch in Switzerland, you are not allowed to call it Swiss made.
Wow, that's really fascinating. Now, how long does it take to make a typical watch?
You know, it depends, of course, on the watches. There are simple watches, but there are also more complicated watches. Mm-hmm. For a simple watch, for the assembling process, you need about 1 hour. For a more complicated watch, you can use maybe several days or even weeks. So it really depends on the function and the complication of a timepiece.
So what would make a complicated watch? What are the features? Because again, going back to Casio, I know that you press a button, you see this, you press a button, you see that. What does that mean on Edox watches?
Watchmaker talk about a complicated watch when they talk about a mechanical watch. A Casio watch can be much more complicated than a mechanical watch. Mm-hmm. A Casio watch is a little bit like a computer, but a mechanical watch works without any battery. A mechanical watch is not electronic. Mm-hmm. Everything works as it used to work 100 or 200 years ago. So we talk about the complication when you can see more on the dial than just the time. For example, a date. For example, a stop-and-go function. For example, the phases of the moon, and so on. So the more you add on a watch, on a mechanical watch, the more complicated it gets.
Wow, so this is really interesting. I mean, you're talking about watchmakers, and you know, with you talking about it, almost sounds like you know, magicians. How long do they train for it? Is this something that goes in the family? I mean, is there school for watchmakers?
So usually, when you want to become a watchmaker in Switzerland, you have to join the Swiss watchmaking school. And then it takes about 4 years until you become a qualified watchmaker. But then, of course, it takes years and years and years to become a master watchmaker. Mm-hmm. And not everybody is able to achieve the title to become a master watchmaker. So it depends also on your personal know-how and your personal motivation.
So if I can ask, what's the average age of a watchmaker in Edox?
I would say it's about 40 to 50 years.
Wow. So that's people who spent at least 20 to 30 years being watchmakers.
You know, the fantastic thing about our company is that people stay with Edox.
Wow.
Once you start to work for this company, you don't want to go away, because we have a family business, and we have a family atmosphere in our company. Human beings are very important for us, and we try to invest a lot of time in a good relationship with our staff members.
Right.
For example, during the last 6 years, only one person has left Edox.
Wow.
Because this person wanted to become independent.
Wow.
So it's I think it's very important, because on this you can build experience, you can build trust. So this is one of the main points why we are nowadays a successful company.
Wow, I mean that's really great. So you mentioned that the watches are mechanical. So with all the precision, it's still. How faithful are they to the time? Do you have to readjust the time? How often do you have to readjust the time? And actually, I want to get into this deeper, but we're going to have to pause for a commercial break, so we'll continue in just a minute. Дорогие зрители, оставайтесь с нами, мы вернемся после этой рекламы.